Florida looks like paradise. Endless beaches, warm water, palm trees. More than 20 million people call it home. But what if the very thing that makes Florida famous is also the reason it may never be safe? Because Florida's biggest problem isn't hurricanes. It's not climate change. And it's not even rising sea levels. It's the shape of the state itself. And once you see it, you'll never look at Florida the same way again. Florida isn't shaped like most states. It's long, narrow, and almost completely surrounded by water. On a map, it looks harmless, but geographically it's a nightmare. Florida stretches hundreds of miles into warm ocean waters, like a thin piece of land with no protection. That single design choice creates multiple disasters at once. And here's the scary part. No amount of money can change it. Most U.S. states face threats from one direction. California worries about the Pacific. Texas mostly braces for the Gulf. The East Coast prepares for storms from the Atlantic. Florida gets hit from every side. The Atlantic Ocean on the east, the Gulf of Mexico on the west, and warm tropical waters to the south. This means hurricanes don't need perfect conditions to strike Florida. They just need water. And Florida is surrounded by it. Hurricanes don't approach Florida. They hunt it. A storm can form near Africa and slam into Florida's east coast. Another can develop in the Caribbean and tear into the south. Others spin up in the Gulf and hit from the west. Florida is one of the only places on Earth where hurricanes can arrive from almost any angle. There's no shield, no mountain range, no natural barrier, just open exposure. But hurricanes are only the beginning, because Florida's shape makes storms far more destructive after they arrive. Here's where things get worse. Florida is extremely flat. Much of the state sits just a few feet above sea level. Some areas are barely above it at all. When storms push water inland, that water has nowhere to go. This is where Florida stops acting like land and starts acting like a bathtub. Storm surge pours in. Floodwater spreads outward, and instead of draining away, it lingers for days, sometimes weeks. And every inch of sea level rise makes this problem exponentially worse. But here's what most people never think about. Florida's shape doesn't just amplify flooding, it traps people. Evacuating Florida sounds simple until you look at the map. There are only a handful of major highways leading out of the peninsula. Millions of people all trying to leave, using the same narrow routes. One accident, one breakdown, one stalled vehicle, and the entire system collapses. In a real emergency, Florida becomes a funnel with no exit. Now imagine this during a Category 4 hurricane. Fuel runs out, traffic stops, storms accelerate. For millions of residents, evacuation isn't a choice, it's a gamble. And that's not a planning failure. That's a geographic trap. Then there are the cities. Florida's largest and most valuable cities are built in the worst possible locations. Miami sits on porous limestone. Water doesn't stay underground. It moves through it. Salt water pushes inland. Freshwater systems get contaminated. Underground infrastructure begins to fail. You can't wall off water that comes from below. Tampa faces massive storm surge risk. Jacksonville floods repeatedly from rivers and rainfall. Florida didn't just build cities near water. It built them inside the danger zone. This leads to a problem money can't fix. Insurance. For decades, insurance companies rebuilt Florida after storms. Again, and again, and again. But now they're leaving. Premiums are exploding. Companies are collapsing. Homeowners are being dropped entirely. Florida isn't rebuilding. It's resetting the clock after every disaster. And the cost keeps rising. Climate change doesn't create Florida's problem. It multiplies it. Warmer oceans feed stronger storms. Higher seas make flooding unavoidable. Longer hurricane seasons stretch emergency systems beyond their limits. Florida isn't just vulnerable to climate change. It's the place where climate change hits first and hardest. So can Florida be saved? Sea walls help until storms go over them. Engineering buys time, but not certainty. Policy can slow damage, but not geography. Florida is fighting physics. and physics always wins. The uncomfortable truth is this: Florida's future isn't threatened by one disaster. It's threatened by the fact that disasters are built into its shape. Florida will survive, but surviving isn't the same as thriving. And the longer the state stretches into warming oceans, the more dangerous that shape becomes. Not because Florida is weak, but because it was never designed to fight the water surrounding it. Subscribe to Atlas Explained for more interesting videos. If you want to know about any city or country, comment your name, tell us what you want to know, and where you're watching from.